Ancient humans traveled across entire continents without water bottles. Most people assume they simply carried water wherever they went. That's not entirely true. The real way ancient humans found, carried, and survived without reliable water is far more impressive than most people realize. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning. No faucet, no bottled water, no refrigerator, no water filter, no convenience store, nothing. Suddenly, the most ordinary part of your life becomes your biggest problem. Today, water is everywhere. Ancient humans lived in a completely different world. Every day began with uncertainty. Where is the nearest water? How much is left? Will it still be there tomorrow? Because unlike food, which humans could sometimes survive without for days or even weeks, water was urgent. Without it, survival quickly became impossible. Most people imagine ancient humans randomly wandered across landscapes. But water determined almost everything. Where they traveled, where they slept, where they hunted, where they raised children. In many ways, ancient humans didn't choose their routes. Water chose them. Groups often stayed near water. If water moved, humans often moved too. Now imagine summer arrives. The weather grows hotter. Water starts disappearing. The ground cracks. Animals leave. And suddenly the water source your group depended on is gone. This wasn't rare. Ancient humans regularly faced droughts. For them, a dry season wasn't inconvenient. It could become deadly. Today we use maps and GPS. Ancient humans used memory. The most valuable people in a group weren't always the strongest hunters. Sometimes they were the people who remembered where water could be found. Elders often carried generations of survival knowledge. This information could save dozens of lives. Ancient humans paid close attention to animals because animals often knew where water was. By watching nature carefully, humans could locate water even in difficult environments. In many cases, animals became living maps. Humans learned to read those maps. Finding water solved only half the problem. The next challenge was carrying it. After all, humans couldn't stay beside water forever. Sometimes they needed to travel. Sometimes they hunted far from camp. Sometimes they crossed dry regions. So what did they use? Long before water bottles existed, humans became incredibly creative. Ancient humans used materials from nature. Animal skins were especially valuable. After a successful hunt, almost every part of the animal could be used. The hide provided shelter. The bones became tools. And certain parts could help carry water. These weren't perfect. They required constant maintenance. But they allowed humans to carry water farther than ever before. And that changed history. Their world became larger. They no longer needed to remain directly beside rivers all the time. New territories became accessible. Longer journeys became possible. Something as simple as carrying water expanded the limits of human survival. Now imagine the opposite problem. Not too little water, too much frozen water. During the Ice Age, enormous glaciers covered parts of Earth. Snow stretched across vast landscapes. Water was everywhere, but frozen. But much of it couldn't be consumed immediately. And that created a completely different challenge. Many people assume ancient humans simply ate snow. Problem solved. Not exactly. Eating large amounts of snow can lower body temperature. In extremely cold conditions, this can become dangerous. Ancient humans needed liquid water, which meant they often had to melt snow and ice. That required energy, time, and most importantly, fire. Most people think fire helped ancient humans survive because it provided warmth. And that's true. But fire also unlocked frozen water. Without fire, huge portions of Ice Age landscapes would have been much harder to survive. In many ways, fire became a survival technology far beyond simple heating. It gave humans access to water year-round. Ancient humans became experts at spotting clues. A patch of green vegetation, a group of birds, a low valley. All of these could signal nearby water. Over generations, people learned to see things modern humans rarely notice. The landscape spoke. Ancient humans learned how to listen. Rain wasn't just weather. It was opportunity. After storms, temporary water sources often appeared. The challenge was using them before they disappeared. This required planning, observation, and experience. When resources become scarce, competition increases. Water was no exception. Groups often depended on the same rivers and springs. Access to water could determine survival, while cooperation frequently existed. Water shortages may also have created tensions between groups, because when water disappears, everything becomes more difficult. Even today, humans remain strangely attracted to water. Think about it. The most famous cities often sit near rivers, lakes, or coastlines. People love beaches. Waterfront homes are expensive. Vacation destinations often involve water. This attraction may not be a coincidence. For thousands of generations, water meant safety. Water meant life. Our ancestors who stayed close to water survived, and perhaps some of that instinct remains inside us. Water forced humans to become planners. They couldn't simply react. They had to think ahead. Where will water be next month? What happens if it dries up? This kind of planning may have helped shape human intelligence itself. Survival wasn't only physical, it was mental. So how did ancient humans drink water without bottles? They followed water, memorized landscapes, watched animals, collected rain, used animal skins and natural containers, melted snow during the Ice Age, and adapted to every environment they entered. Maybe that's the most remarkable part, the thing most of us never think about. Finding a simple drink of water was once one of humanity's greatest daily challenges. Every bottle of water you see today represents a problem our ancestors spent thousands of years learning how to solve. And without that solution, human history might have ended before it ever began.